Hello, my name is Eduardo Noel. This is my video entry for Lab 3 dilution and plate count overview for Bio 225. It is May 22nd, 2020, and this is the graded portion of the video. Here's my information. I'm using the same card as I used for the experiment to indicate my time, my day, and when my incubation will be completed. For this experiment, it didn't go as I expected. I incubated it for 48 hours as directed, pulled it out, assessed it, 10-1, 10-2, gave me counts greater than 300 with T resulting to TN, TC. 10-3 gave me a result of viable with the counts of 30 to 300. My total count was 140. As I noticed on my 10-1, I had clumps, big clumps, and then it became micro thin dots. Not so sure if you can see it because of the reflection, but I had a lot of clumps right there, and then around the corners, and then I have a lot of little dots in the middle towards outside. My 10-2 was just tiny dots everywhere. Sorry with the reflection. 10-2 had little dots everywhere. And then my 10-3, with this, I only saw what you see on the video. I had dots that is visible and easy to be counted. But 10-4, 10-5, and 10-6 weren't visible at all. As you can see, this is 10-4. And I could see through it. I'm not so sure if there's anything in there, or is it the agar, the reflection of the agar that's showing. 10-5 is the same, and 10-6 is also the same. That's between 4, 5, and 6. I'm not sure if there's any growth. I actually let it sit for another 24 hours, hoping that the petri dish between 10, 4, 5, and 6 will grow overnight for another 24 hours and see if there was any new outcomes to it. But you know, this is the 3-day mark, and there was no progress upon it. On this video, I know I wasn't able to do the experiment at the same time as the video, and I was reviewing the video as what I did during the procedure. My mistake was I should just video the whole procedure, even though there was a time limit indicated, and with the permission of my professor, I got the approval to go as beyond the time limit that is required by her. So in the next video or next experiment, I'll video my full experiment while following the directions on the website itself. Also, the other thing that I noticed, information from one experiment and then the second experiment, I noticed that with the agar, they were giving two different information. They were saying about how one tube of agar is good for 2 petri dish, and then I believe I read it where it says it's good for 3 petri dish. So there was a little bit of confusion on that, and I was just a bit surprised of, you know, mixed information that was happening. The other mistake I did, the pipette. I noticed on the pipette there was marks on it, and I didn't realize it until towards the end that um, there's lining on it with indication of how many mLs are on it, and I should have looked at it and looked at it carefully before I started the experiment. That was the biggest that's one of my mistakes I should have done, and from this experiment I don't think I'll do it again, or I shouldn't, because I already know my mistakes. Other mistakes I've noticed, like the place where I'm storing this specimen is supposed to be flat, like equally flat, but on my petri dish I noticed that there's more on one side than the other side, like in regards to growth, and they're supposed to be flat and equal. So I think there's something wrong with my cabinet where I incubated it for days, and it just stayed more on one side than instead of evening it out throughout the petri dish. So I might have to find another location to store it where it's evenly flat, so I could get better results. This is my first experiment with this class, and I really don't know what I'm expecting to happen or what to do. So I'm just trying to get the feel of it, and hopefully with the rest of the experiments I should be more comfortable of doing it. The information that I followed for HOL was great. I had technical issues in regards to uploading my pictures to the program itself. I was able to receive help, and since I'm using an Apple computer, I had to go through multiple steps to basically fix the results, fix the pictures. Multiple steps to fix the pictures, so I'm able to upload it. But that took time, and I was able to figure it out. So from now on, I know what to do. What else should I say? Results. So the results I expected more results on, or some results between 10.4 and 10.5. I didn't really expect a lot of results from 10.6, and I was and being blank, I wouldn't be surprised, but I understand by more dilution from a concentrated to less concentrated, it should be basically from more concentration to less concentration to none. And on this petri dish, on this experiment, it went really fast on the third petri dish. That after that it didn't show any growth. In lessons in real life, I was able to I understand how dilution works in regards of from concentrate to higher concentration to lower concentration. It's also like gas gas movements, where let's say you burp, where the area where you released it has a high concentration of gas, and as it evaporates through the air, the smell gets how do I say it, less and less distinct. So I kind of expected that with this experiment, but I know I could relate that gas concentration to this petri dish because of the high concentration to low concentration. I was successful on my results between petri dish 1, 2, and 3, but when it came to 4, 5, and 6, I was kind of disappointed on 4 and 5. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more results. but in a little bit of results instead of no results. But it didn't show at all. And the script shall explain the results of your experiment. So again, this is my 10-1. Sorry, the reflection from my computer is giving me. So this is my results for 10-1. A lot of growth, a lot of dots. This is my results for 10-2. A lot of dots, visible dots everywhere, as you could see, besides my face. And then 10-3, big dots, and a lot of them on around the corner of the petri dish. And that's what I was talking. There's more. There's more here, from here all the way to here, and there, well, from here to here, basically, where my finger is, all the way to this part, you see a lot of them on the edge, but from here to here, it's practically empty. So, you know, that's why I was questioning about my measure, if it was even or not. For 10-4, nothing on the corners and nothing in the middle and throughout. Same thing for 10-5, nothing in the middle, nothing on the corners, nothing in between. And 10-6, even worse. You could see my face very clear. Nothing around the corners, nothing in the middle, nothing surrounding it. The errors that occurred in this experiment helped me understand what type of materials I have and equipment that I have, and I should really look at my equipment closely before I even proceed. And from now on, I will videotape my whole procedure from the beginning to the end, so my professor could see it, that, you know, I'm me, Eduardo Noel, doing the procedure and nobody else. And, you know, I'd rather do the procedure because it is fun, you know, learning how to do this and the outcomes of it. Like in real life, you know, what you do makes a difference. And with my field, I'm going for my second career right now, so I'm just taking my prereqs. But I'm a frontline worker. I'm doing this COVID stuff. I'm a respiratory therapist, so I deal with the lungs. Technically, I specialize in lungs and heart and ECMO at my current job. So gas, basically gas loss, oxygen, lungs, heart rate. I deal with it on a daily basis, and I know what to do, how to do it, and I do it really well. I understand how what I'm doing now, especially with gas, affects the body, and with the CO2 climbing, I understand that it has effect towards the body. So with what's happening now, I mean, this is I could relate this to my field, and I do understand what's happening. But I expected more results on my experiment. But a lot of this I do understand in real life, because everything I touch in the hospital, everything I see, everything I'm learning now is it's basically what's occurring with the bacteria, with the viruses, all that. It's, you know, makes more sense now with the information I'm reading, and then because it goes to more detailed, a little bit more detailed from what I know, because it's medical where you just assess real quick, figure out the problem, and fix it. Because most of the things I do is mostly emergencies. Um, so yeah, this is my video entry for dilution and viable plates counts for week 2. It's today it's May 22nd, 2020. This is the final video for my grading for this experiment, and I understand the mistakes I done, and I would fix it for the next from now throughout, so it shouldn't happen again. Thank you so much.